Hi, everybody. I'm Alice K. Ruckelhaus from SufferingWell, and we're continuing with our series on the Rosary. Today, I'm going to share with you one of the things that I do to keep all that repetition in the Rosary from becoming meaningless. And this is a really, really cool way that you can pray for a lot of different people. Okay, so you all know what it's like. You're praying the Rosary, Hail Mary, blah, 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 Hail Mary, blah, 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 Hail Mary, blah, blah, blah. And you really do feel like you're saying blah, blah, blah. That's what Jesus said not to do. He said not to use meaningless repetition. So we don't want to do that. So the question is, how do we keep this from becoming meaningless? And I talked to you on Tuesday, I talked to you about how we can use that discipline as a sacrifice. I talked to you on Wednesday about how we can change the emphasis on different words to keep it meaningful. And today I'm going to talk to you about something that makes it really, really meaningful. I like to personally, I haven't heard of anybody else who's done this, but I'm sure other people have because there's nothing new under the sun. Anytime that I think that I have a creative idea that I've just come up with myself, I find out that there are a lot of people who have come up with that idea. So I'm sure other people have. But I pray for a different person on each bead. Okay. And there's a couple ways that you can do that. One, you can have a list that you look at. And when I pray with a friend, we usually use a list. I have a friend who I pray the chaplet with every night. And we have a list that we use. And as we go down, we name one person for each bead. I'll show you how that's done in a moment. If I'm praying the Rosary by myself, this is when I usually do my own list. So then I usually just have it in my head, and I'll have certain categories. So for example, the first one would be my children. Okay. And I pray for my ministry partner on the last bead of each of these decades. The next, I do this differently every time. So I'm just coming up with examples, but my next decade might be widows that I know. Okay. And widowers. My next decade might be ministries that I know about that I want to pray for. I might have other Catholic YouTube creators that I pray for. There are just so many different things. I have a list of priests that I pray for. That usually takes more than one decade, and so on. And so we can pray for different churches. We can pray for our friends. All right, it's different for me almost every day. Sometimes I'll pray the same 5 groups each week, but I usually change it around. But I can keep a list of that. But to be honest, part of the reason why I don't keep a list is because I want it to be a little bit of a mental exercise for myself as well. Okay, so when I do it this way, it's a lot easier if I'm not just praying by myself. If I will turn on a video on YouTube. Usually it's on YouTube. So for example, I have a video of just praying the Rosary straight through. So that works if I just play that and I'm saying this, and I'll show you in a minute how I do it. I also like to pray along with Father Rocky on Relevant Radio. Sometimes I'll do it when he's on. He does the Rosary at 7 o'clock Central Time. So it's 8 o'clock for me at night. Or I have an Alexa, and so I say, Alexa, Relevant Radio skill. And then when Alexa lists the options, I say, pray the joyful mysteries. And so then I can listen to Father Rocky praying the joyful mysteries. And so the reason I like to pray along with someone for that, somebody that's like already recorded, is because then I can say who I'm putting on each bead out loud. So for example, as Father Rocky starts saying, Hail Mary, full of grace. Okay, when he says that, I say, David, I say June, I say Lily, I say John, whoever it is that I'm praying for, I just say at the beginning of each bead. And I think of that person. And I like to just imagine Mary helping them, just putting her head putting her hand on their head, or putting her hand on the back of their shoulders, and just guiding them. I'm not saying, Mary, please do blah, 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 blah. I'm just saying the person's name. It's very similar to a practice that my husband, who is Quaker, taught me. And that was, you don't have to pray tons and tons of things about a person. You can just, what they call, hold them up in the light. So you're just holding them up to God. You're not giving an agenda with it. You're just holding them up to God and just saying, this is who I'm praying for. And then letting him do what he's going to do. So it's kind of the same thing with this, because all I'm doing is saying their name. I'm just imagining, because I'm asking Mary, I'm telling her how blessed she is, and I'm asking her to pray for us now and at the hour of our death. So I'm asking her to pray for them, maybe to kind of guide them and stuff. So that's one of the ways that I do it. You'll find that that is incredibly, incredibly meaningful. Sometimes when you have time, you're actually going to want to pray it twice because you have so many other people that you want to pray for. So think about doing it that way. Try it out and see how that works for you. All right. I love you all. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.